Hey everyone, and welcome to the case file review for Elfen lead Lucy. Today we have Mr. Shanab, CEO of Figurama Collectors, and
Hi,
myself,
Steve.
Steven. Hi Shanab, how's it going?
All is good. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. I'm super excited to be talking to you today around our
Likewise.
latest release. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people have seen it now. They've seen the full reveal. They've seen all of the gallery images, and people are so hyped for this statue. It's an incredible piece. So it's going to be nice today to talk with you about all of the creative parts, and we can go into all of the details of kind of why Lucy and why Elfin lead.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. So, basically, as usual, we pick a license or an IP that it's underdog in a way, that it's obscure. When no one have picked it, we have decided to pick this IP, which is Elfen Lied. We do believe in the potential of it. We are huge fans of the anime and the manga itself. A big part of our team that they are diehard fans of Elfen Lied. And there is a market that it's not served. And I do believe it's not fair since it's not a mainstream anime or manga, so it will not be picked. So we took the challenge once again, and we have outdone ourselves. I believe the statue is exceeding expectations. It's a fantastic piece of art, to be honest. And even though it's the first one, it's the first ever statue for Elfen Lied. I don't think anything gonna come near the level of details and the attention to the quality that we have done with our statue.
Yeah, I would agree. The fans of Elfen Lied, so myself included, we've been starving for Elfen Lied merchandise and statues. There's
On the side conversation, you told me that it's like one of the first animes that you have watched, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was one of the first 10 anime I ever watched.
Wow.
Yeah, which is quite a jump. I think the first one I ever watched was Sword Art Online. So from going from that, which is very light-hearted and easy, to Elfen Lied was
The
quite
dark and gory one, yes.
yeah, to the dark and gory. A
It's
big
a
jump.
switch,
Yeah.
a big switch, I would say. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
And I think it's one of those series that really shows you how deep anime can go in terms of the storytelling and the visuals it can do, that I think like Hollywood and other
yeah,
films just can't do it to the same depth.
exactly.
And it really makes you fall in love.
It's like more black and white, good and evil. However, with Japanese anime and manga, it's like more about the gray area that you can relate to darkness sometimes, unlike the Western type of
Yeah.
comics or Hollywood kind of production. I totally agree.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not all Captain Americas here.
Yeah,
We do have bad times, we have good times. And I
yeah,
think
yeah, exactly.
the character Lucy, Kaide, New, whichever you want to focus on, really brings that to life, and the different ways people think, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So let's look at the statue now, and let's go through it and talk about all of the amazing things about this statue.
Okay, so definitely, Steve, as everyone know, it's a 1/6 scale. However, the size of the whole statue, it's like more than a quarter for some other IPs with other creators or like manufacturers. We always tend to put the amount of details in the diorama and to make sure that our statues have its own presence. So as you can see, it's a pretty decent, I would say, like more to the large statue when it comes to 1/6, and you can tell that. Yeah, please, if you can. Yeah, okay. So basically, it's 64 centimeter high. It's like equivalent to like some of the quarters that we have done as well, because we wanted to have its own presence. And the unique cylinder shape, I believe this is really adding a great silhouette to the statue. And wherever you look at it from any of the angles, you will see amazing silhouette with tons of details that you will never get bored of gazing at it. So basically, we have picked this unique scene. Like it's for us, this is like Lucy's breakthrough moment. When she break out in the lab, and for that you can tell there is an unseen border or silhouette, which is like an egg. Maybe we like can put the highlight around the like silhouette. And so basically, like this is a hidden symbolism that we wanted to put in the statue. It's her a breakthrough out of her eggshell moment. And from any angle that you are going to look at, you will still see this imaginary eggshell. And this add a lot to the visual value of the statue. The team worked really hard to achieve this hidden detail, I would say. I have to admit, we have finished Lucy's statue a while back.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe two years ago. But with the time, we weren't satisfied. And as I said, we have hardcore fans of Elfen Lied within our team. And they keep pushing to redo certain elements till we have took the decision to redo the whole statue in terms of 3D sculpt. The concept, it remained the same. So we have rearranged a few elements to get this eggshell shape. We have sculpted her body from scratch and the hair as well, which is, I am very proud of what the team have done in this aspect.
Yeah, it's amazing to see just the difference in the statue then and now, and I think we'll put this up on the screen as well. But going back to the egg point as well, what I love about that is that this first scene, this first episode in the anime, obviously she's breaking out of this containment field that she's in already. But it's also the start of a rebirth for her, because at the end of the episode, and sorry if you've not seen it, there's some spoilers, she gets shot in the head, which then gives her the new personality, which again kind of, it's like this reset for her, which I think that egg really, really symbolizes well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to mention, like this is proudly the 20th anniversary edition. So it's Elfen Lied 20th anniversary edition officially to celebrate this amazing anime and manga into an lifeless statue that will, not lifeless, I would say it's never aging statue that will remain on your shelf, and the more you will look at it, the more you will find more details, which we are going to talk about.
Yeah, there's so many incredible details that have gone into this, and I think we've even experimented with some new styles that we haven't done, especially around the skin and the feet and knees and that kind of thing, which are a lot newer. And a lot more interesting than I think anything we've done for other statues before.
Absolutely. The layers of paint that we added to show her skin as because she haven't seen the light for years, right?
Yeah.
So we added lots of these kind of paint details in between the recesses of her toes, wrinkles. It's pretty much a good balance between a realistic touch and anime stylized.
Yeah.
What do you think about the pedestal, Steve?
Yeah, so I really enjoy this pedestal because part of it's obviously an Easter egg in its own right, because we have the lever that she pulls with her vectors, so she doesn't actually use her hands to pull this lever to escape essentially from the lab, which it's a really nice symbolism, and it's a really nice way to add it into this overall statue. And obviously you can see the bloody handprint, which again, it's from the vectors. And it's interesting again in the anime that in this first episode, you don't actually know what the vectors are. They never show them. They never show them coming out of her. She's just walking, and then people are dying. And then this bloody handprint comes on this lever, and you're like, where's that from? Like, that's not her hand. How is that happening? So it's also, that little handprint is also a really nice introduction to
Absolutely
her having these invisible vectors.
Yeah, and like I would say the theme of this statue, it like goes around freedom,
Yeah.
revenge, and stepping into our real self. Like to like be in like our full potential. And that's what I really love about it. It's very symbolic piece of art.
Yeah, it really is a very artistic piece. And it has a lot of symbolism behind it. More than, we always add Easter eggs to our statues, and we always have that symbolism of what that Easter egg represents within the anime or within that piece. But I think the overall theme of this really comes through.
I totally agree.
So from the back as well, I think it's still super interesting from the back. There's a lot of really cool details here. There are a couple of Easter eggs hidden at the back, which you might spot if you've got a keen eye. But it's just nice to see that, again, there's details coming on in the back, like this little panel at the bottom right that's been peeling off where she's breaking out of this containment field.
Yes. And you see like all of the element, it's like bending around her, like she like managed to break and bend all of the elements around her. So there's a high sense of motion and movement that you can, and it's very loud.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Yes, without being too chaotic. I think we found a really good balance there of dynamic, loud, but not being overwhelming. Like, you can look at it and think, yeah, this is it's almost calm and loud at the same time. It's hard to explain. So yeah, moving on to a close-up of obviously the beautiful Lucy. I think we've done an amazing job sculpting everything about her, from her face to the hair to the horns, the mask, even the pose that she has on this. It's incredible.
Exactly. And this is a very iconic pose. Whenever we think about Lucy, we have this picture in mind. Like, this pose is definitely amazing. We wanted to recreate it in 3D and to put it in a bigger context with the drama itself. So it's gory, romantic, beauty. There are different, highlights here that goes. It's like a mixing pot of different emotions, which is like make it really amazing, contrasting piece.
Yes, yeah, and we've even got the dynamic, the movement as well, with the bandages floating around her as well. I think it's very much yeah.
I mean, you like can see her, in like her full grace, standing. Is standing high while she's trying to break through the cage. I really think this is an amazing posture that we have captured here.
Yeah, same. And it's very reminiscent of the primary artwork done for the series, for the anime, You might have a Blu-ray with it on as well. That kind of pose, the mask coming off, is kind of like a hail to that as well.
True.
And I think one of the really interesting things for me about this statue and about the series as a whole is that typically when you see scenes like this and scenes like people breaking out of their shell, let's say, going back to the egg, it's normally with anger and it's rage. But in this, she's just so calm and just, it's like this psychopathic calmness that she's just broken out. She's going around killing people. And I think
I would say the similar moment that happened in anime, that's for Kaneki when he fights Yamori, like when he's under the pressure, and that's a statue that we have created as well. And you are right, she's the opposite, I would say. He like went psycho with his anger. No, she's calm, cold blooded, but yet she is lethal and powerful in the same time.
Yeah, and she won't let anyone escape, pretty much. Also, so going back to the paint as well that I mentioned, you can see on her left hand, so on our left, is the nails and the painting done on the hand there it's again finding that balance between it being very realistic and also keeping a bit of the anime in there as well.
Absolutely. That's the balance that we did our best to keep the anime stylized look and feel with a touch of realism. So we can really bring her out of the anime to the real world with like more details, because there is no limitations for us to add any realistic details that will add value to our statues.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are the result of layers and layers of paint. It's not just one simple layer.
Yeah. It was a lot of work getting to this stage, and I think there was a lot of back and forth with the painters to get it to where we wanted it to be. But it's always worth the results, and that's what we pride ourselves in taking that extra time to do the back and forth and be like, okay, this isn't quite right. We're going to spend that extra time making it better.
Yep.
So moving on to another section that we love, again, is the feet shot. So again, we've put so much time and work into the feet and into the knees and these small cuts.
The kneecap, yeah, definitely. This is really amazing. And I am in love with the team, like with what the team have achieved in that. You can see how realistic it is. And her pale body tone says a lot about her state.
Yeah.
And the pain and the torture that she have been through, and finally she's out of all of this. That's the victory moment for Lucy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just this, it's such a delicate pose. Again, just this 1 foot, just like gently landing on around all of the destruction around her. You can see the guard in the back is missing its leg. Yeah, it's the grace in the chaos.
Yes, exactly.
Which I love. And then, obviously, for all of you who know Elfen Lied, it is an ecchi series, so there's nudity in there. There's other kind of shots in there, and we didn't want to forget that and lose that in the statue. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to get banned from Facebook. So here's one of the shots that we created. We did some really good sculpting around the rear part of Lucy. And I think it's done very tastefully in a really good way that fans should be really happy about if they're big fans of the series.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to like a more close-up of that base and the door lever, you can see again all of the blood and the cables that have been ripped out.
The Victor hand.
Yeah, the vector hand, which is there. Such an amazing moment. And I think
It's very iconic, and the symbolism here is really amazing. And this to be the pedestal itself, this is again another success of Figurama collectors statues. That it's something that we have repeated in all of our statues, the pedestal to add to the story, to speak about the story itself, which is really have been done in a great way here as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, as far as I'm aware, it's the first square base that we've ever done.
That's correct.
Yeah, which is something quite new as
It is.
well.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the square, like with a egg silhouette, it give a nice contrast, and that's what we wanted to achieve,
yeah.
to be visually interesting.
It's the sharpness of of the square, and then the roundness of the egg, which is it's a beautiful
And
contrast.
that's her character. She is sharp, dangerous,
Yes.
lethal, and in the same time she have the softness and the grace and the beauty. So we wanted to communicate these values into the shapes and lines of the statue itself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've done that incredibly well. So let's talk about, as we're zooming into things, let's talk about some of the Easter eggs. So there are some very obvious
That's my
ones.
favorite part. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some very obvious Easter eggs, and there are some more hidden ones. One of the obvious ones, as Shanab was saying, is his favorite parts. If you want
Yes,
to go
it
into
is. No, definitely. She have the ability that moves things around, like you call it telekinetic.
Yeah. I think, that's what you'd probably call it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, and correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, I love seeing that she have moved the pen. She used the pen as a weapon to puncture the guard neck and kill him. And it's that moment where the pen is coming out from the other side, leaving a blood trail behind it. I love these gory details. We have done it a lot in our statues, and the best way also it have been done in Helsinki statues, as you could see the gore elements without any censoring, and that's what we have done here as well.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good comparison to the Sarah statue. With there's a lot of gore on that. I think the interesting thing for me about this is also, again, the story behind it, where Lucy's vectors can only reach about 2 meters at their maximum length. And I think in the anime at the time, the guards were standing a bit further back from that. But Kisaragi fell in front of her, and she used her pen to throw it through the guard's neck, which then caused chaos. So you think you're safe from her if you're 2 meters away, but realistically, you're still going to die. And he also has his organs being punched out of him as well, which is incredible.
Exactly. No one wants to be in like his position for sure.
No,
unlucky guard.
Yeah, he's not having a good time.
Not at all.
It does baffle me actually in the anime, like how unprepared these guards were for this to happen.
No matter how much prepared you are, you like can never stand Lucy.
It's true. We see that later in the anime when Bando goes after her, and he knows what she can do, and even then he gets ripped to pieces.
Absolutely
crazy. So we've got another guard who I would say is in an even more unfortunate position. He has been ripped apart. He's just a torso at this point.
Absolutely.
Incredible. I really love the use of actually the flatness of his leg to show like how clean these vectors go through you. It's not like you're being torn apart. It's just a slice.
Absolutely.
Incredible. So those are the more obvious ones. So for the smaller ones, which I know some people have picked up already, from looking at the galleries that we've put out, is the music box, which is a really, really important item. So it's one of Kota's music box. It is only in the anime, so it's not in the manga version.
Yes.
But it plays the opening theme. So it's Lilium is the opening theme for this, and Lucy sings it. It has a very important place.
It's like adding a lot of romance to the story, you know, like to see Lucy, this kind of strong Punisher, to see her soft side, you see, and she's also here, you know, like she like have feelings, she can love as well, but she have been put in a situation that brought that dark side of her, but she is able to love and to be in romance as well.
Yeah, exactly. It shows that human side of her, that she's not just a psychopathic killer. She does have all this depth of,
and that's the beauty of the Japanese animes and manga, that you see different layers of complexity in the character.
Yeah, and I think Lin Okamoto did such a good job creating those depths. Which, and this is such an important piece. I do love the music box. It's a really amazing bit. The next piece is Kisaragi's cup. So, as I mentioned earlier about the guard who had the pen through his neck, it came from Kisaragi. So she's like this clumsy secretary that's working for one of the top scientists. She has no idea what Lucy is, who Lucy is. She doesn't know she exists. And she like stumbles in front of her during Lucy's escape, holding this cup of coffee. I think it's coffee.
More or less.
And literally just gets killed instantly. Which again shows that side of Lucy, that she doesn't care if you're not trying to hurt her. She doesn't really care. She's just going to kill you anyway. The psychopathic side. But this also has a further meaning in terms of, so the doctor she was working for was like Kurama. Kurama was his name. And because he really liked his secretary and like, I don't know if I would say love, but pretty much kind of loved as a parent, I guess. And so when Lucy...
romance,
a different kind of romance. So when Lucy killed her, it gives that scientist more reason to go after her and kind of get his own revenge.
Exactly.
It's amazing. And
she like just meant to be... Kisaragi, she like meant to be in a wrong place, wrong time and wrong place. So
very unfortunate. And I think this, just the design on the cup as well, the mug it's just so funny amongst the rest of the statue where everything is bloody and gory, and then you've got this little panda mug.
It's a nice break.
It's a nice break, a coffee break.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I like that.
And then we have obviously the guards' rifles that they were using.
It's the AK. Yep.
Yeah, the AK trying to shoot her down, but unless you have like the heavy bullets, she can block them with her vectors. So essentially, it's doing nothing. The interesting thing in the anime is obviously you see them all shooting at her, and it's kind of like the Matrix where Neo stops the bullets. They all just stop in the air, and they don't know why, because you can't see the vectors. Super cool. And then the final piece that we've got, as we mentioned earlier, is it's the 20th anniversary emblem.
Ta-da!
Yes. Which
this is really amazing. We have worked very hard with the author and the mangaka and the licensors to make it happen, and I have to say that they are very proud of the work that we are done, and they are very happy about the results this statue have achieved. And as a good gesture, that they have definitely allowed us to make it the official 20th anniversary statue for Elfen Lied Lucy.
And they did that without without really much question, they were like, yeah, obviously this is a perfect example of what we want to show from the Elfen Lied series. So it's really nice for them to do that. And we've done this beautiful colored, it's going to be enamel and resin on metal. So it's going to be like a really nice weighty pin, but it's got some color in it. So one of the reasons we decided to do color, because I think we've done some emblems before.
It was golden, silver, just a simple flat metal. Yeah.
But the problem with those is like they look really cool, but one of the main character traits of Lucy is her pink hair. So we just had to make sure that came through for sure.
And it speaking a lot to the license, to the anime itself, to have this, to preserve the pink hair and the other colorations. That's adding a lot of value, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I agree with that.
And this is going to be big, like around 6 to 7 centimeters width. So it's something similar to what we have done for Kenshin, Trigun.
Yeah, it's going to be a really nice emblem to have to present. Like, obviously, you can have it next to the statue. You can put it on your desk somewhere else.
Exactly.
It's going to be an amazing one.
Absolutely.
Going back to what you mentioned as well, working with the licensors is... We've been working again closely with the mangaka, so Lin Okamoto, and if you're following him on Twitter, you'll see that he's been resharing his love for the statue.
Guy. Amazing guy,
nice.
Yeah. He is one of the great mangakas. He's so excited and thrilled for the statue. We will definitely send it to him once it's done. He have been very excited and he feel honored and let's say a privilege that we took care of his license. It's not dead, and he was so happy to see the huge fan base around it. It's and I understand his feelings very well. So definitely we are very excited to release this and give it to him as well.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to see. Like, we kind of want to see him unbox it in real life. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll try. We can try and set that up. That'd be fun. So yeah, this is the Elfen Lied Lucy statue in all of its glory. So moving on from that, and then into the challenges that we've had working with this statue, with this license. What we kind of touched the surface on it of reworking the entire 3D. Are there any other kind of challenges you think we've had creating this statue?
Well, definitely, as I mentioned, the biggest challenge is to pull out the details and the anatomy of Lucy. That's why we had to redo it. We after finishing the whole statue, we get the approval. We have redone it. I would say almost 80% of the statue have been redone again, and we got the approval again. I appreciate this in Figurama collectors that we don't mind to put the extra work and effort and to reprint just to make sure that we are achieving the goal of having a wow statue. So that was one of the biggest challenge. And she's delicate, female body. That require an extra attention in the sculpt and coloring as well. Her hair flow is definitely one of the biggest challenges, and we make sure that to achieve it and to make sure it's producible as well. I would say these are the main definitely challenges that we have faced.
Yeah, I think it's again, I feel this year Figurama we've really taken a lot of things that I would say are outside of our comfort zone. For instance, with Ancient Magus Bride, it was a very romantic scene that we've not done a lot of that kind of style before. And I would say the same with this Elfen Lied Lucy, is that we haven't done many in this kind of this kind of style.
True.
Which,
True.
yeah,
And to be honest, if someone have done something, that will be the itchy style. It will be like the fan service, PVC stuff. This is an elite statue, to be honest. This is something great that it tells the story and also communicate the feelings and the symbolic moments in a very elegant way. As I said, the contrast between the grace, beauty, elegance versus the gore, anger, revenge in the silhouette with a hard shape, soft shape. It's really a piece of art. That's all what I can say. And it's so dynamic.
yeah. It keeps everything that we're known for, as well as adding all of those extra elements to it. I love it. I think it's amazing. So there are potentially some more challenges that we could talk about, but I have also seen that some of them have been asked by some of our amazing collectors. So I won't ask it, and I will let them ask these questions instead. So if we go into a little bit of a Q&A. So the first question we've got is, how did we come up with the idea of going for Elfen Lied? Like, what's the story behind us choosing Elfen Lied? Because it is an older title. I would say it's kind of niche in its own way.
True. I totally agree. So the nicheness of this of the anime and the manga like that, actually it was even like more challenging for us, because we want to create something that it should be sellable, and even though we love it, yet we want to make sure it's like gonna also pay the bills. And we were so amazed, to be honest, to see the results of the fans' reaction, and the fans just kept coming from all over the place. We didn't expect them in that numbers, really. And we were so happy and excited. And to be honest, after we saw all of this presence and the attention to this statue, we have decided to lower the numbers, like lower the price, and to add more to the quantity, just to make sure that everyone will afford it and we can sell it for more people while reducing the price. That's the first step that we have done.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, it's just, we're always trying to help our collectors. And we understand that not everyone can afford such a big statue every time. So we're always trying to make sure that we're balancing things out. In terms of, like you say, price, edition size of the actual statue itself, that meets everyone's expectations. We don't want to do something we don't like. We want to sell something that we know we love, and that you guys are going to love as well.
Exactly. And something that we are going to be proud of displaying it on our shelves. Are you going to buy one, Steven?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I'm still trying to work out where it goes. It will go great with my background lighting. I can change that to pink.
Remove your bed, man. Like, why you need a bed and you can collect, Come on.
That's true. It's true. I'll remove the instruments. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what? That would be a great place.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what one of the other team members have done.
Yeah, exactly.
No kitchen, just statues.
Yeah.
So the next question is, one thing they'd like to know is if we're planning to put any LEDs on this statue.
We really have thought about this for a long time, and it was a heavy discussion in Figurama Collectors development team. As what we said, we want this to be a piece of art, really. The silhouette, the elements, it's very elegant and artsy in a way. To add the LED, it will not add anything to it, to be honest. It might take, actually, but not add. Here, the vibe different colors in her hair and the statue, it's really enough to bring the attention to this piece. I really don't believe that there should be any LEDs. But if there will be an LEDs, where do you guys recommend to put it? If the fans have any suggestions, we can look into it.
Yeah, that would be interesting actually to see what people would like to have illuminated. Yeah, like you say, I think it works well without them. The only place I would think to add them would kind of be, there's obviously like the alarm signals going off in the background of this whole scene, which is cool, but I think it wouldn't fit with the elegance of the overall statue. Is my thoughts at least. So,
yeah.
Another question, and people are getting ahead of themselves here. So, with this being the first statue from Elfen Lied, do we already have any plans for upcoming Elfen Lied statues or more of them, and what might they be?
That's a good question. Well, it depends on the performance on the 28th of September. If the sales goes well, we will definitely be doing a second one, either of a versus, like Lucy versus someone else, or maybe a different thing about Lucy, like Lucy in a different pose, different scene. Like what you suggest as a fan, Steven.
Yeah,
just out loud. And don't share much, so we like inspire others.
Yeah, it's for everyone else. I really like the scene in the graveyard where Lucy's having a battle. I think it's a really cool scene as a face-off, and it's quite an emotional one for both the characters in there as well.
Interesting.
I think that would be really cool. I really like the music box.
I also never heard you saying this suggestion earlier. It's the first time. This is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be quite cool. And then also I'd like the music box. It would be fun to have like something maybe a little bit simpler with an actual music box that works. Her holding it.
And to hear the melody.
Yeah, that would be really nice. It's one of those anime where there's only 12 episodes, but there's so many things you can take from it. Every episode has its own thing. And then, of course, we've not even really touched upon the manga and anything that we could do from there as well.
Absolutely. Well, I love your suggestion. Maybe the fans can give us more of their suggestions, and once we do a great success on the 28th, we will definitely consider that, knowing that the mangaka and the licensors, they love what we do, and we can definitely tackle something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe a bust, an elite bust, I don't know. So
something like that would be amazing. Like a different, something different, smaller, bigger. Yeah. We can go wild.
Okay.
So the next question would be, what criteria do we use to decide which character or license appears? And do we have like an internal order for that?
Sorry, Steven, can you repeat that?
So what criteria do we use to decide which characters or licenses that we do, essentially, and how do we decide that internally?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, again, we scan the list of animes and mangas that we love first. And based on our fans' suggestions in some other times, and we must make sure that we will pick something that we love and we like. If not all of us here in Figurama, like a few of our members, that will be enough, because there must be a big part of passion putting into any creation of our statues. And we definitely pick something for the depth of it, not just to be a mainstream anime like the top sellers or the top watch list. No, we pick something that have a value, have an emotional depth, and have a connection to us.
Yeah, I love that. And kind of going into some other detail on that is that we do have a whole list in our internal system that has all of the suggestions. Like anyone in our team could suggest a license, character, whatever, at any time. And we also keep track of everyone's suggestions from the community in there. And so we keep track of what's happening and what people are asking for. So the next question, we did answer it earlier, but we can answer it again, more detail, is how big is the statue going to be? So I can answer that. So it's a 1/6 scale. It's going to be 64.4 centimeters tall, 43.5 centimeters wide, and 37.6 centimeters deep.
It's pretty compact, and it have its own presence.
Yeah, it's compact, but it's tall, which is an interesting one. It's definitely up there with some of our bigger statues in terms of how tall it is. But it's not going to be too restricting in terms of width. I know some of our other larger statues are very wide and deep, where this one doesn't have that issue, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
The next question would be, is this the final design for Lucy?
Well, it's difficult to say this is the final design. I would say no. Our final design is when we put the statue in the box and then ship it. We keep enhancing, we keep fixing. After the production sample, like we will see what are the challenges in the production. Like maybe we have more comments from the fans, things we add here and there, but we can assure something that this is not the final, but the final always going to be the best.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would echo that. I'd say this is 90% the final. It's only if there's suggestions from the fans, we might make some tweaks to whatever might be suggested there. We have been known, I know there's a story with the Attack on Titan piece that we released where we unboxed every single piece to replace Misaka, right?
Yes, Mikasa. We had to redo her head maybe 14 times. So, and we have repainted a few parts of the body of Armor Titan and Eren Titan as well. So there is, and it's not the only case, to be honest. Like it happened with other statues, but this is a popular one. That's why we are talking about it.
Yeah, it's something we always we don't try and do it, but if we know there's an issue, we will fix it. And I think that's what sets Figurama apart from other companies out there, where they ship what they make and that's what you get. Whereas we will actually listen to you guys and be like, okay, you want this to change? We'll go and change it. And we're happy to do that for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go to this question. I think is quite an interesting one, and it kind of matches the previous question. Have we changed the design a lot before coming up with the final result?
Yes, and we have mentioned that.
The 3D,
definitely.
Yeah.
We have done a few 2D concepts, and we enhanced them. I'm not sure if you are planning to show them, Steven. If yes, we can show them now. Otherwise, it's okay. But the 3D, definitely, we have changed it completely, 80%.
Yeah, it completely changed. And yeah, like Shanab said with the concepts, every statue we do, it always starts with at least 3 or 5 different concepts that we then progress through a little bit further. Some of them get dropped, some of them get to 3D, and then we kind of figure out what exactly it is we want to go with. So yeah, from us deciding we're going to do Elfen leads to this, it's changed a lot. I don't think you'd recognize the original one. So the next question is, how long will the pre-order window be open for?
Well, till we sell out.
Yeah.
and we believe that this is going to be a quick sellout. The quantities are low, the demand is high, so we really recommend to all the fans to be there on time to make their purchase.
Yeah, I personally feel like the interest around this statue and the price that we've got and the edition size, it does make me think of when we released Made in Abyss, which sold out in 48 minutes. I think was our quickest sellout ever. So I think it is going to go very fast. So make sure you're there on the 28th of September at 11 p.m. Japan time to get your statue, because we don't know. It could go out in 48 minutes. It's happened before.
Absolutely.
So another question here is, can you purchase the statue when it releases, or is it only purchasable as a pre-order?
Yeah, as I said, like once it's sell out during the pre-order, it's like sold out. So it's the only time that you can purchase it is during the sellout. Otherwise, as you can see with all our statues, the value, it just raises.
Yeah.
And I would say the cheapest you will get it during the pre-order time, because later on the price is going to rise in the aftermarket. Absolutely.
Yeah. Some of our statues that we've released a while back are double what they cost in the pre-order at the minimum. Some are even more than that. So definitely get it during the pre-order. If for any reason that you can't get it during the pre-order, make sure that you join the waitlist. If there are any cancellations or whatever it is, any things that come up, you will be the first to know. So make sure you're in the waitlist as well. Otherwise, it definitely won't happen.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what's happening with DioCube?
So basically, the DioCube project, it's one of the new projects for Figurama collectors that we have never done PVC before, right? And as everyone know, we always look for the perfection of our products. It has been a learning curve dealing and working with the PVC. It's not easy. It's challenging, and we had to hire new members that understand PVC. We had to up our game to match the PVC standards, which is it's completely different than resin. It's there. We are working seriously on it. And I can assure you, like one thing, like once it's out, it will be great and you will be happy with it. Just we are asking for some patience as we are creating our first PVC line, and we begin with 3 projects in the same time. It's... that's a good learning, but after that, it will be a piece of cake.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've done what Figurama do best, is that we're going out of our comfort zone with the PVC line. We're creating a product that isn't anywhere else on the market. So even the factories are having to learn how to create the things we want to create, which... yeah, there's learnings to it, and we are working pretty hard on getting that out there for sure.
Awesome.
So those are all the questions we've got today. I just wanted to go through before all of you leave, just making sure that you're aware that we do have some discount codes for all of you. So if you order within the first 48 hours of the pre-order and you'd pay in full, so one full payment, you can get $60 off the final price using Lucy48. If you want to order any time throughout the pre-order and you're doing a payment plan, you can still get $35 off using the code Lucy35. And both of these discounts stack with the $45 off shipping if you use Amazon payment services. So you can potentially get $60 off the statue and $45 off shipping if you want to. And remember, 28th of September at 11 p.m. Japan time. There are only 500 pieces available of this statue, and it's going to be
Worldwide.
retailing, worldwide.
500 worldwide.
And it's
So good
retailing for $695. So yeah, good luck. If you order from Figurama Collectors, you get everything here. So you get the statue and the emblem and an art print, as we always add in. If you're going through distributors, you don't get the art print or the emblem. So there's always benefits to going with Figurama, of course.
Absolutely. And I think the 20th anniversary, it's really gonna be a great object to have on your like next to your statue. I'm sure you don't want to miss that.
Yeah. You don't want to miss out on that amazing emblem for sure.
The store exclusive, It's an amazing emblem.
Yeah. So that's everything from us today. Thank you,
Steven.
Yeah.
It was a great chat. I can tell how you are emotionally connected to this IP. It's really a unique, amazing piece that will satisfy you and all the fans of Elfen Lied Lucy around the world.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and talking about all of that and answering all of our questions. I think it's going to be an amazing release, and I'm excited for everyone to get their statue.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and we see you guys on the 28th. Don't forget, we will be there for you, and get it while it lasts.
Yes, exactly. Be there on time. It will sell out quickly. Okay, bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.